Imagine you are standing in the center of a bustling metropolis. The steel skeleton of a skyscraper rises above you. The hum of electricity vibrates through the pavement. It feels permanent. But deep time is a violent eraser, and it has no respect for the monuments of the living. If you were to vanish today, nature would dismantle this city in a blink of geological time. In a few thousand years, relentless rain and roots would pull these towers apart. And eventually, in the deep sweep of geological time, the glaciers will return to grind the rubble into dust. In 5 million years, the very tectonic plate you are standing on would subduct, melting the crust into magma. We have walked this earth for roughly 300,000 years. That sounds like a long time, until you realize the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. If the history of our planet were squeezed into a single 24-hour day, humans would appear only in the very last 3 seconds before midnight. This forces us to ask a question that borders on the impossible. In the vast, silent oceans of time before those final 3 seconds, is it possible that we are not the first? If an industrial civilization rose, built cities, burned fuel, and died out 60 million years ago, would we even know? Or has the Earth already erased them? If you want to explore the silence that follows us and the mysteries that came before, subscribe to The Last Silence now. Let's dig into the evidence. To answer this, we must step away from science fiction and look at the cold, hard limitations of geology. We aren't looking for Atlantis. We are looking for a shadow. In 2018, Gavin Schmidt of NASA and astrophysicist Adam Frank proposed a thought experiment known as the Silurian Hypothesis. They weren't claiming that a civilization of reptiles actually existed. Instead, they posed a serious challenge. Is our method of looking for history flawed? When we think of the past, we think of fossils. But the fossil record is incredibly fragmented. It is a puzzle where 99% of the pieces have been thrown away. Fossilization is the exception, not the rule. It requires a creature to die in exactly the right mud, at the right time, and remain undisturbed for epochs. Researchers estimate that for every dinosaur species discovered, thousands vanished without a trace. If a species built a civilization that lasted for only a few thousand years, the current age of our own industrial society, that entire era would appear in the sedimentary rock record as a layer only a few centimeters thick. If you were a geologist 100 million years from now, digging through the strata of the Cenozoic era, the chances of finding a smartphone or a car are statistically near zero. The tectonic conveyor belt recycles the ocean floor every 180 million years. The continents drift and crumple. The physical evidence, our iron, our glass, our concrete, will be ground into sand. So, if we can't find their cities and we can't find their bones, how do we hunt for a ghost? If a civilization burns bright and fast, it doesn't leave behind statues. It leaves behind chemistry. We have to look for the geological fingerprint, anomalies in the rock record that nature cannot easily explain. The first place we look is the atmosphere, or the memory of it trapped in stone. When an industrial society powers itself, it burns fossil fuels. Because plants prefer the lighter isotope of carbon, known as carbon-12, burning them releases a massive plume of this specific atomic weight. As the oceans absorb that carbon, it gets locked into sediment. We aren't looking for a Made in China sticker. We are looking for a spike in carbon-12 that is too fast and too concentrated to be natural. But carbon isn't the only signature. An advanced civilization produces synthetic materials, compounds nature never invented. We call these technofossils. While a plastic bottle will degrade, the chemical sludge it leaves behind persists. Certain synthetic molecules and forever chemicals can linger in the sediment for millions of years. Geologists of the future might find a strange, plastiglomerate rock, a fusion of sand, coral, and melted toothbrush or fishing net, harder than stone. And then, the darkest signature, the nuclear shadow. Since the mid-20th century, we have dusted the planet with plutonium-244 and strange ratios of radioactive isotopes. These do not occur naturally. If a geologist 60 million years in the future finds a layer of rock containing these isotopes, they will know that something on this planet once understood the power of the atom. There is a moment in Earth's history that gives scientists pause. It is a period known as the Paleocene-Eocene Thermal Maximum, or the PETM. 56 million years ago, something violent occurred. Over a geologically short window, perhaps just a few thousand years, a massive amount of carbon was injected into the atmosphere. Temperatures spiked by 5 to 8 degrees Celsius. The oceans became acidic. Ecosystems collapsed. When we look at the charts of the PETM, the curve of rising carbon and temperature looks eerily similar to the charts of the Anthropocene, our current era. The spike is sharp, sudden, and dramatic. Standard geology attributes this to natural causes. Perhaps a massive chain of volcanoes erupted, or frozen methane hydrates on the ocean floor thawed. These are the most likely explanations. But the Silurian Hypothesis forces us to keep an open mind. The data from the PETM is perfectly consistent with the signature of an industrial civilization that burned through its fossil fuel reserves, triggered rapid global warming, and then collapsed. We are not saying that is what happened, but the terrifying beauty of the hypothesis is that we cannot prove it didn't. All that remains is the chemical scar of a fever that gripped the planet for 100,000 years. This inquiry into the deep past is not really about ancient lizards. It is a mirror. It is a way for us to look at ourselves from the outside. We like to think of ourselves as the masters of this planet. But the Earth has deep rhythmic cycles that dwarf our existence. We are currently writing a new layer into the geological record. Future geologists will call it the technosphere. What will this layer look like in 50 million years? It will be a thin, strange stripe in the sandstone. It will contain a sudden spike in carbon-12. It will be rich in nitrogen from our fertilizers. It will hold the radioactive decay of our wars. And oddly enough, it will be filled with the fossilized bones of the broiler chicken, the most populous bird on Earth, bred by humans to a size nature never intended. A layer of plastic, a layer of radiation, a layer of chicken bones. That is the monument we are building. We release new documentaries about Earth's future and past every week. To ensure you don't miss our next journey into deep time, verify your subscription below. The Silurian Hypothesis teaches us humility. It reminds us that civilization is a fragile experiment. The Earth is resilient. It creates life, allows it to flourish, and when that life oversteps, the Earth buries it and moves on. If there was a civilization before us, they are gone now, ground into the silence of the rock. And if we do not find a way to live in balance with this planet, we will simply become the next mystery for a future species to solve. We are not the owners of the Earth. We are simply the current tenants, and the lease is coming up for renewal